1, 2, 3.
Go ahead.
No, you cut. I'll pull.
Just cut it.
There you go.
Hey, come on in. I have about a 5-minute little spiel here that I'm going to read to you because I've given it a lot of thought, and I want to make sure that I get, like everybody thanked that, like had part in this. So I first and foremost, I don't know if Paul's here. Paul DePace was coming. Is Paul out there?
No.
No.
I know that he'll show, like up for our game tonight. Paul DePace is the person here at the University of Rhode Island that's in charge of the entire facility. Art Tuvison, who's in charge of our facility here in athletics, helped me sit with Paul, and we came to an agreement to be able to undertake this project. Paul gave me, permissions, with fundraise money, that we have raised to go forward. So I'd like to thank Paul DePace, for helping us, get started. And I'd like to thank the current parents on the players' parents, on the team, for their generous contribution for the project. Without them, the project would have not been possible. As you can see, all the girls fielded support financially from their parents for their respective lockers for their daughters. Each parent donated $1,000 or more for their daughter's locker. Britta had a special thing happen with her in that her grandparents, funded her locker, so that was sort of special for her. We still have some donations that are coming in for the lockers. 2 of the lockers were donated by 2 of our alumni, in Carrie Gengel and Jessica Sammons. Carrie currently holds, I think, all the records for blocking in Rhode. It'll be hard to get away from her, but not saying that's not possible. So, but Carrie played on a team that went to Arkansas, played in the first round of the NCAAs, and along with Jessica Sammons, who has just been inducted in 2009 into our Athletic Hall of Fame. So both those girls, you'll see some lockers there in the corners. We gave them the lockers that had no leg room, so because we didn't think they were going to be here too much. So thank you, Jessica, and thank you, Carrie, for doing that for us. So thank you, to all the parents, for all their contributions, and the alums for what they've done, as far as, helping in this room for the lockers. I would like to next thank, our contractors, and some of them are here today. And I'll start out with Larry Lemma, who did all the demolition in the old locker room. That was quite something. John Cass, who put the ceiling, in for us, and also put up all the pictures and the plaques that you see, we did this all just yesterday. Mark's here from Rawlings Floor and Covering. You might make sure that you say hi to him when we go out, for a little bite to eat. And his friend Jim, his employee, Jim is the one that put the ram, on the floor. So we're really grateful, for how that turned out, and we thank Jim and Mark for their part, in putting the rug in. Peter is here right now. Peter, did all of our electric, so he put in the new lights, which made it a lot brighter in here. And I can't open this, Peter, to show them what you were doing. You don't remember the combination. What Peter is doing.
We're all gonna break in.
Peter did all the electrical stuff for all the electronic stuff, so Peter then came in, and he still has a little bit of the project, to undertake, but each one of the lockers, behind these pictures, has a receptacle in it that poor Peter has to put in each one, and the receptacle is in there. Those of you that are down here can see it, is there for their cell phones. Can you imagine that? So they put their little cell phone in there and lock it up, and they can have their cell phone charger, hook it right up. So Peter has done that, as an example, but has to still get in and get, about 16 more of those done. So we thank Peter, very much since he's here. Let's give Peter a round. Right here, he helped us today. We had some lockers put in. There were a couple places where the rug didn't quite fit once the lockers were pushed in. So he came in today and snipped those off for us. So we appreciate it. So the lockers were we first met with Jack Brock, and Jim, came out from the company and actually put these in the last couple days and did a fantastic job. I was real happy that, Steve talked me into, using this company. We were going to do it locally, and we decided to use this company who put the lockers in, and we're really, really pleased. This media center that's here to my left was, dedicated by Art, for Art Carmichael, in memory of Art Carmichael. And I have some of Art's old buddies here. Would you raise your hands for me? These guys right here in the middle played with Art Carmichael. Given me stories and stories and stories about the good old days and playing days, but they won, I think, 28 consecutive New England national championships. And Artie was regional championships, and these guys were on that team right there, and they have all kinds of accolades, as players, along with Art, when he played, with them before he became a coach here in 1975 to 1980. Art started the program here, and I came in 1981. So Art, I thought it was really nice to name the tournament after Art, and to celebrate, and have him be a part of us. I thought it would be good to have him here in the locker room. So we really appreciate, you guys coming down. Peter Evangelista, that's a really sort of with world trophies, up in Providence, they're the ones that put together all the dedication plaques and the pictures, the holders, for the girls. Ed Pepin, everybody knows Ed, the returning players. Ed's done all these pictures for us for the last couple years, and Jeremiah Marcox did all in his geek squad, did the electronic stuff from Best Buy. Jerry Gooden from National Business Furniture, produced all the office furniture that's in my office, which I'd like you to parade through on your way to getting some refreshments. So he did all that office furniture and the couch that's in here. Joe Flaherty from the Correctional Industries, in other words, the prison up in Cranston, took my 2 chairs that are in the office and the old URI chairs, and they were on their last leg. He took them up there and they totally took them apart and glued them back together and painted them nicely for us. And with Steve's good eye, he bought a piece of furniture in there that matches it perfectly. When you go in the office, you'll see that. I'd like to internally thank Sue Bergen, Mitch Stone, Noreen DeSandro, Beth Larimer for all their help, because I've been a pain in the butt. Right, Sue?
A little one.
And I have really had to jump through some hoops with some of this stuff to get some of this done, and the people that are here and in our business program took the brunt of most of that stuff, and I thank them from the bottom of my heart. Truson Taranelli has done the setup for sending you the invites from our Rhode Island Ram Athletics Association, and we appreciate, him and Owen are here today. He could have gone to Syracuse and watched the football game with URI in Syracuse today, but he stayed back to help us, so we appreciate that. Cello's restaurant is giving us the food, and they're catering our meal, girls, after this. So I'd like to thank Thor, our athletic director, who would rather be here today, I'm sure, but he's at the Euro football game in New York, and he helped us big time in giving permission to do the project. So we thank you, to Thor. Last but not least, I'd like to thank Steve for all of his ideas and help in fundraising for the project. And I'd like to thank the team for putting up with me, because I've been irritable for a long time. My wife and will contest to that. She has had to put up with me, and it's been miserable. I've been the project manager for this thing, and I've never done anything like this in my life. But it is something that I knew in the end would do what I really wanted, and that was to have a place that I could truly be proud of, for the girls. What the girls don't know is that, in red, what does that say?
Oh no.
I have the URI Volleyball locker rules, which I won't take any more of your time, to read, but trust me, their life has just changed.
I'm surprised it's not laminated.
It will be.
Blown up on that wall.
So, I have appointed 2 captains to the locker room, and they are Ashley Tennant and Rachel Zarazin. And they are going to, you know, like, be directly responsible for this locker room. They'll report directly to me.
Yes.
I have things like they have to sweep the rug daily, once a day.
That's right.
I have some things that will help
Right,
you
we're the
parents like you
directors.
can't ever believe, because their rooms will look just like this when they come home, right?
No doubt.